everyone. So I'm starting out with some Copic Express It paper, and I'm just going to use a Pure Innocence stamp, and I'm stamping it with Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and I'm going to color it in with my Copics, and I put it on fast forward so that it wouldn't take too long. So I'm coloring in her skin. I'm starting out with E50, which is eggshell, and then I'm doing the shadow with E00, which is skin white, and then I'm blending it in with E50, which is again, and then I'm going to go on to the rest of her body, the sections that have skin, and I'm going to do the same thing with the same colors. I'm still learning about shadowing, so I'm not sure if I put the shadows in the right places or not sometimes, but I just try to do whatever looks right to me. So that's how it looks, all the skin colored in. And now I'm going to go to the hair, and I'm using E23 and E25. So I'm starting out with E23, and I'm just doing that all over the hair, and then I'm going to do the E25 in the places where I think it would be dark. And then I'm blending it back out with the E23. She doesn't have a whole lot of hair, so there's not too much you can do with it. So I'm using the Sweet Girl 6x6 paper pad, and I'm just choosing some colors to match the papers that I want to use. And I'm using BG11, and I don't have a color that coordinates with BG11, so I couldn't do any shading, so I just used it, as a regular marker. And then I think I'm using RV 25. I think it's RV25 and RV25 and RV29 to do the roses and the button in her hand, and then her pants. And you'll see I messed up on the shading on her pants, so I ended up just coloring it in like as a solid image. I'm still learning, so I didn't want to start over the entire image just because I did the shading wrong on the pants. So I just added another layer of ink, and it turned out okay. So then I'm using a really, what color is that? I don't know what color that was. I think I forgot. But I'm trying to make it look like she has a glass of lemonade in her hand. So I used a really light blue for the glass, and then yellow, Y13 yellow for the rest of the cup. Excuse me, I kind of have the sniffles today, sorry. Hope that's not too annoying. Now I'm using C1, which is cool gray, just to put in something at the bottom so that it doesn't look like she's floating on white space. And then I chose a color paper, which is that aqua color, and I cut and scored it to 5.5 by 4.25 card. And now I'm going through my scraps and choosing some papers that I want to use on this card. I've used quite a bit of this paper, so I don't have a whole lot left to choose from. I really love this paper pad. It's really cute. So I decided to use that pink polka dot paper as background on the front of my card, so I cut it down to 5.5 by 4.25. And I was flipping it over to see which side I liked best, which combination. So I decided to use the polka dot, and then I'm going to use the yellow flower as a horizontal strip across the middle. And then I'm using my Spellbinder's oval die to cut out the little girl shape. And I'm also using lacy ovals to cut out a background in a green paper. And then I'm just going to adhere them together and then put them on the front of the card. And I'm using pop dots to do that. And now I'm going through my little mini buttons, and I choose 4 very small buttons just to put on the corners of that horizontal strip. And you can barely see them, but if you look close, I think they're cute, so I went ahead and used them. And now I'm going to stamp the sentiment, and I think it says you're cute as a button. Yeah. So I'm using my Fiskars stamp press and VersaFine ink in black. And then I'm just going to cut that down with my travel trimmer. I have a big paper trimmer, but it's really hard to do small pieces on it. It's the Fiskars Precision Pro. So I have this little Fiskars one that I use to take to crops with me, and I tried to use it, and it was so frustrating because the little paper kept moving, so I ended up putting on some adhesive on the back of it and sticking it on there so that I could cut it down. So I'm putting the sentiment up on pop dots as well. And I'm just adhering that to the bottom in the middle. And then I'm looking for some crochet flowers, and I really wanted to use that yellow, the pink and yellow right there, but I just felt like it was too bright or it was too much or something, so I put my brads away. And oh, right now I'm looking for a brad to put in the middle of that flower, but I don't end up using it. I think it just overpowered the card. So I decided to go through my pink buttons and use a button in the top left corner. And I debated over whether to use 1 or 2 or 3 buttons. So you'll see me go through them for a little bit, just trying to pick some out. I end up going with just 1 button. And I get some teal or aqua twine, and I'm just going to tie that through the button and make a little bow on the front, and then glue it to the front of the card. And I'm using a glue dot to do that. And I use removable glue dots for buttons just so that if the person getting the card wants to take it apart, they can. So this is the card all finished. Thank you guys for watching. I will be back soon.